Over the past week, protests within the NFL have metastasized into something even more racist and vile. Not satisfied with quietly kneeling or sitting while our country's national anthem plays, some NFL players are now flashing a Black Power salute anytime they sack a white player. On the field, the lines are clearly being drawn in the sand at this point, as furious Americans across the country are turning off the game in droves, proving they have better things to do with their time other than being bombarded with the nasty sentiments of racist oppressed millionaires. But rather than simply turning off the game, one Brooklyn police officer, who's been a hardcore Giants fan for most of his life, is taking these protesters head-on, and is torching to something he previously cherished to get his point across. Brendan Fink was a loyal New York Giants fan up until this week. As a season ticket holder since the early 1980s, he had never missed a single game. Fink, like many Americans, has witnessed firsthand the personal sacrifices that our police officers make on a daily basis, where tragically, one of his fellow police officers was shot and killed in the line of duty after responding to a robbery. But rather than sitting on his couch whining about the ongoing anti-cop protests plaguing the NFL, Fink decided to do something drastic to take a stand for our nation's cops. "I can't go anymore," Fink begins in the video. "I can't pay and I can't watch this happen. I happen to be wearing a shirt of a cop I worked with who passed away and was shot and killed during a robbery on June 9th, and I just happened to find this shirt and there's thousands of cops just like him who gave their lives for this country. And these people sit down and protest against cops. I'm burning my tickets." Now that entire teams are turning their backs on our country, as evidenced by the entire Pittsburgh Steelers team staying in the locker room while our national anthem played over the weekend, except for former Army Ranger Alejandro Villanueva, Americans are fighting back with a vengeance. Hashtags like #TakeAStandNoToKnee and #BoycottTheNFL are now trending across social media, as angry fans are starting their own version of protests. Nearly empty stadiums at several games are spelling disaster of things to come if the NFL doesn't put a stop to these anti-American athletes. Across the country, another angered fan decided to light something on fire too, making a bonfire with his once prized NFL jerseys. The only Pittsburgh Steeler with the balls to come out on the field and support his flag and country was our Army Ranger, Al Brown stated. "I'm a die-hard Steelers fan of over 40 years and when they chose to not come out for the anthem, for the first time in over 40 years, I chose to turn off my TV. I am glad to see though, that the local Pittsburgh Facebook pages are being absolutely lit up by pissed-off Steelers fans." Army veteran Billy Todd was equally unamused. "Not watching any games ever again," he commented on Facebook. "This is disturbingly just the beginning, as kneeling and sitting players could soon be the least of our concerns. The NFL is now considering turning the entire month of November into a month to protest America's cops, similarly to how the NFL has an entire month dedicated to breast cancer awareness." A memo sent to the NFL demanding that they turn November into an activism awareness month to protest police in America is being led by Seattle Seahawks Michael Bennett, Philadelphia Eagles Malcolm Jenkins, Eagles Torrey Smith and former NFL player Anquan Boldin. Such a move on the part of the NFL would spell disaster, as any sort of action taken against our police officers would ignite even more fury among already enraged Americans. If you still choose to watch NFL games after witnessing the vile anti-cop, anti-American, anti-soldier protests these NFL players continue to display, then you're just as anti-American as they are, and have no grounds to open your trap and complain about their protests. The lines in our country are clearly being drawn, and you either support America or you don't. It's time to take a stand and pick a side. You're either on Team America at this point, or you're not.